All right, what's going on, guys? So we are back on the field. It's Friday. It's a little overcast, so hopefully it doesn't rain on me. Even if it does, I got my umbrella out, so we should be okay. And there, not to mention, there's a big old shade tree over there, so we'll be able to escape for a little bit. But before we get into sprints, I just finished my power sprint drills. And before we get into the primary sprints, we're gonna do some single response broads, 3x3. Last time I put cleats on for it, which I think is a smart idea, but I haven't done that yet. So we're gonna do the first set in my squishy shoes. If I eat shit, I'll go to cleats. That's always a good progression plan, right? If it hurts you, then change it. I'm actually not sliding that much. I waited a little longer today to get out here, so the grass isn't as dewy. So we got 2 more of those. A little skip. Can't really stick the landing in these shoes. Not really. All right, this is our final set of 3 of the jumps. We're gonna throw some cleats on it and get sprinting. I'll let y'all know what that looks like here after I finish this. Mostly because, oh God, I gotta sneeze. Sorry, I will do my best to edit that out. And if you're asking yourself, edit what out? Never mind. Ooh. Ooh. Oh yeah, PR distance there, let's go. At least for today, PR distance for today. 6x10, and they're like sub-max like accelerations. So like over the course of the 6, I'm gonna gradually get faster and faster and faster, right? So like within the confines of those initial 6, we're gonna improve the acceleration. Then we're gonna take a little walk around break. Well, I should also clarify that the rest periods between the 6x10 is gonna be like 30 to 60 seconds, depending on how I feel. And then we take a big walk around break, anywhere between like 3 and 5 minutes, just to like completely recoup. And then we're gonna do 5x20. And the 5x20 is still gonna be sub-max, but it gives me plenty of opportunity to get up to like 90, 95% effort, and then haul ass for like the last like 5 yards out of the 20. Excuse me. As well, 2-ish minutes between those. Usually 90 to 120 seconds. It just kind of depends, again, on how we're feeling. But that's the plan. After we finish that, we're gonna go home and lift. So we are just getting started in the grand scheme of things. So we got 6x10 push-up start or RDL start. I like the single leg RDL start, so we're gonna do that. And again, 10 yards is that first cone you see in front of me. So it's not very far. Yeah, so see like that first sprint, I mean, that's like 40% effort, give or take. And then we just, over the course of the 6 reps, we just kind of gradually ramp up that intensity. Because that way it's kind of, by the time you get into the 20s, we should be feeling pretty good to where you can get 90+% effort and not feel like you're gonna fucking die. So anyway, quick rest, 30 to 60, we do it again. All right, this is number 2. Since we're doing single leg RDL, we're starting on left leg now, which is my actual lead leg. And speeding it up just a little bit. So the amount of time it takes you to get from that start to that cone narrows and narrows and narrows. And again, it's easy to get ahead of yourself, quickly with this. But like I had mentioned in a previous video, you want to get really good at being able to feel how hard you're working during a set, not just sprints, but just anything. Because the relative consciousness that you have during like mental exertion is extremely beneficial, because it allows you to actually tap into things that are going on. A lot of people, novices especially, when they get hurt and you ask them how they get hurt, they don't fucking know. They just say, I was deadlifting or whatever and I got hurt. They have no idea. And that again plays into the thing that I had mentioned in a previous video, where the more advanced you are, the more in tune with how your body moves you are. And so that becomes very beneficial, especially when things go wrong, where weight doesn't move as fast as you thought it would, or why did you miss a rep, or whatever. You become more in tune with how things go and why you feel the way you do. And so it's important to not be an autopilot when you're training, because a lot of people will take that at face value and be like, okay, well, it doesn't matter because I'm a novice and I won't build that skill until I'm advanced. Well, you build the skill by trying to do it. So as you're doing stuff, you're trying to feel things are working. You know, like again, the calf smash example, you're trying to eventually have that light bulb moment where you're like, oh shit, that's what, got it, makes perfect sense. And I'm sure you've probably had those moments where a friend of yours that you're lifting with, or a coach or whatever, said something to you and it just instantly clicked and you're like, damn, that makes a lot of sense. You just want to continually do that every day that you train, because the more stuff that you tap into, the better awareness that you have, the better lifter you are, or whatever it is that you're doing. Anyway, it's time to go again already, because I yapped for like 10 minutes. And see, in some cases, I can even count the steps. So I know if I'm slow or getting better here, because I'll count the steps and know I crossed this first cone on step 4. And I'm like, damn, hell yeah. So being able to pay attention to those things instead of being on autopilot is key. I'm not gonna yap again, I promise. We got 2 left. The soreness is starting to kick in a little bit. I can feel it now. That calf smash, I'm feeling that soreness now. So I know the 20s are probably gonna suck. It's all good. I had gone like, I think 2 whole weeks without severe soreness, so I was wondering where it was at. Found it. Last one, best one for sure. All right, nice long rest period. We're gonna chill for a little bit and then we'll be back for the 20s. And again, our intensity for the 20s is just over 90%, not 100. We just don't want to max out, but we do want to get pretty fucking close. That first one felt really good, so let's see if we can maintain the momentum of 4 more feeling just as good. Ironically, as soon as I say something, I fuck it up. Or at least it felt like I did. I feel like I lost my balance on that first step. I don't know if you guys can see me right now, so I'm gonna walk a little bit closer, but it kind of felt like I stepped this way and then like crossed over, like that's what it felt like. And it kind of threw me off, obviously. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. But I don't know why I did that. I had the normal setup. It kind of felt like this though. You know what I mean? Like I zigzagged over myself. That's what it felt like. I don't know if that's actually what happened. But anyway, 3 left. I'm gonna have to fuck it up. Oh yeah, we redeemed ourselves on that one. All right. Number 4. So two was kind of a shit show, but 1 and 3 felt good. Hopefully 4 feels good, and then obviously number 5. You know, even if you don't break any records or anything like that, I've always kind of viewed just not fucking it up more often just as beneficial. You know, because there's kind of a mentality now where people like to push super hard and kind of let their technique go to shit a little bit. And while I'm sure that's fine in the short term, who cares, man? Why are we always such in a rush for shit? Just have good technique and just fucking own that shit, man. Just get your reps in. I don't know. I kind of sound like the old guy yelling at kids to get off his lawn, you know what I mean? You know, because that mentality is with the younger group for sure. Not too bad, I don't think. But yeah, when it comes to me, you won't really see me push super hard most of the year, believe it or not. You know, you know how everybody's about failure and maxing the fuck out and shit. Even my actual max effort work, it's got reps in reserve, man. Or at least perceived effort is not maxing out. I just don't really like training that way anymore. You know, really don't. I have just found I make so much more progress and I feel better when I just back off the gas a little bit. So obviously everyone's different, but I've also met a lot of people that train that way and they're like, I just can't keep training this way, man. I hurt all the time and I plateaued and yada, 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 like all this crap. Yeah, man, you should probably let off the gas a little bit, man. That's also my humble opinion. You can train however you want. Training intensity definitely is important. But I saw a comment, you know, because I'm on fitness social media, and I saw a comment the other day that got, you know, a lot of attention. And it was just, intensity is the most important variable. And I just wish people would stop trying to like find an easy answer. You know what I mean? Because that's basically how that comes across. It's like intensity is the only thing that matters. Most important. That's it. Nothing else matters. And it's like, if that was the case, then you would just 1RM fucking everything and see massive gains. But no one does that. No, you do, even on the extreme end, sets of 3 to 5, like you're still getting volume, reps. Like intensity is important, but so is volume, so is frequency. These things are all important. And I wish people would stop being like, most important, only thing that matters, whatever. Because once people found out that training hard gave them gains, everyone freaked the fuck out and started emphasizing only intensity. And it's like, brother, just train hard and beat the logbook, bro, and you'll see gains. Like the amount of people that made gains training sub-maximally is not zero. Like there are plenty of people that made gains training sub-maximally. But again, humanity, because it's not even a fitness industry thing, humanity loves to find shit that works and then just latch onto it, and that's the only thing that fucking matters. So I don't really blame people, because that's just what people do in anything. But I just wish the fitness industry would just acknowledge, yeah, intensity is important, but so is everything else. That was probably the best feeling one. I was a little more aggressive with my stand-up notion. I was a little more aggressive with it. Normally I don't come up that far. I'm normally like right here. I know you probably can't fucking see me, but I'm normally way lower. I came up tall. And it did feel better. It might have been a little too tall, but I don't know. We'll see when I watch it back on camera and shake my head and roll my eyes so hard I go blind. But anyway, that's all 5. So we're gonna pack everything up, gather up my cones here. I'm gonna go home and lift. Well, as you know, we have some power stuff first. Jumps and throws. And then we're loading up the trap bar, getting into it. So y'all stick around, because while it's gonna take me 10 to 15 minutes to get there, y'all will be there with me, ready to go right now. Again, because I don't have 2 separate boxes or 2 separate benches or anything like that, where normally you would do kind of like a deep tier thing where you're jumping like from the ground to the box deficit. And normally people only do like, I don't know, maybe like a foot off the ground, give or take. But even if I had crash pads or something like that to do that variation, the crash pads I think are only like 4 or 5 inches tall, something like that. I mean, it's just so negligible. So I changed my split squat jumps into basically lateral jumps out of a split squat up to the flat bench here. So we're gonna do 5 each side, and then we'll turn around and do the other set, 5 each side, and then yeah, we'll be all done with jumps, and then we're gonna move into throws, which I think I'm doing chest throws again. I don't even remember what I did last time. Again, memory of a goldfish. But the throw variations, there's no way to like really progress them, so to speak. Especially for power, like you don't want to like use a progressively heavier and heavier med ball, maybe up to a point like 10, 12 pounds, something like that. But I just use a 6 and I just rotate the variations and just make sure I maintain my skill level at all those. Anyway, enough fucking yapping. Split squat position, make sure I don't hit my ceiling fan here. And we're going from the floor up to the bench. And again, if you guys aren't familiar, the bench isn't even really knee height, so it's not too far off the ground. But we get down in a split squat position here like this, and then I just jump up to the bench. And normally I'll step down. It just kind of depends on my coordination. Sometimes I end up like right on the edge of the bench, and so I just kind of like fall off. But I do try to land on the bench. So just like that, and then I will, actually, I won't turn around just yet. I'll turn around for the other set. We're just going to switch legs. Quick break. Then we'll face that way and do 5 more each leg. Okay, guys. Now we're facing the other way. We're gonna do 5 jumps on each leg here. Make sure I don't eat shit. One more. Easy peasy. Now we're gonna do throws, chest throws, and do like 5x2. We'll set that up and get to work. All right, same deal with the throws. Because this is like my longer workout and I don't want the video to be super long, you guys are gonna see the first and last set. And again, we're doing chest throws, no step, no nothing fancy, just good old fashioned chest throws. 5 rounds of 2. I'm going to go for a quick rebound if I can. So as soon as I catch it, loading it, out again. I'll see you guys 4 sets from now. All 5 done. Now we're going to move into our prehab and then deadlifts. I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit. If you guys didn't see last week, we do our little step down until our lower foot makes contact with the ground. We hold this for 10 seconds, which I think it's, I don't know, 8, 9, 10. And then we do some reps. And then we do one more iso. And we do it on the other side. And 10 more. Now we got our isometric band hold, which I'm going to be right here. Oh, cool. So it'll be 20, 30-ish. Oh. Alright guys. Trap bar deadlift, high bar, or a high handle, whatever. We're gonna do 1, 2, and 3 plates as warm-ups, and then I might have to tilt the camera up, by the way, looking at it. 1, 2, 3 plates as warm-ups, and then I'm gonna throw 40 pounds on there. No, 20 pounds on there to jump us up to like 362. And then I'll do 362 for like a 3x5. Because I did 352 last week for a set of 5, and it wasn't that bad. So we're just gonna go up by 10 pounds and try and do it for 3 sets across of 5, which I don't really think would be a problem. But of course, like everything else, if I do it and it feels like shit, then we will adjust. Old reliable. Oh. All right, so bad news bears. 162 didn't feel too good. I have some like tightness through my hips. My my erector on like my right side is kind of seizing up a little bit. So sweet. So we're gonna fucking wing it, dude. The belt will probably go on. I don't remember if I used my belt last week. I think I did. I don't remember. But anyway, belt might go on earlier than intended this week, just to help me brace harder, right? And yeah, man, hopefully we even see 362 today. We might get to 342 and that might feel like shit. So, I don't know. We're going to fucking do our thing, man, like we normally do. Man, that is feeling heavy. Oh, God. Holy shit. Got my 5. Fuck, that feels fucking horrible already. Oh, God. All right, guys. Belt went on for 342 just because 252 felt like fucking dog shit. It like actually felt fucking horrible. So belt's going on to see if that helps at all. It probably won't, believe it or not, but we're throwing it on anyway to see if it helps. And then this will be the driving force with how the rest of today goes. So if it feels like shit and 5 is hard, we'll probably just do it for 5 sets across, maybe try and squeeze out 352 for 5, and just write it off as an L, because yeah, my back is fucking killing me and I feel tight as shit throughout my hips. So I don't know, I didn't do anything differently, so probably just chalk it up to just kinks in the system happen, man. It's just how it goes. So anyway, enough dooming. We're just gonna give it our best shot, brace up as hard as we can, and just fucking give it 5, bro. And if it feels decent, we'll go up. If not, fuck it. All right, that's just how it goes. So let's get after it. Oh. Not too bad. I think I locked it in after like rep 2 or 3. Not too bad. I think what I might be able to do is 352 for the second set, and then 362 for the last one. Kind of do like a ladder. I don't know if I could do 362 first of all at all, let alone 3 sets across. So I think we'll just do that. 52 then 62 and just see how it goes, dude. Because that felt better, but it still felt like shit. It is what it is. All right, this is 352 for 5. Again, 342 felt better, but it still feels like shit overall. So I'm expecting this to feel like shit too, but we'll see. Because, you know, again, I managed to do this last week for 6, and I can still feel number 6 being there. Like when I did the 342, I definitely could have gotten one more. So, but when it comes to building strength, again, I've said this before, you don't want to be hitting failure for strength. You do for muscular gains, or at least close to it for muscular gains. But for strength, you actually want to be pretty sub-max. So I'm not terribly upset. It just would have been nice to be able to hit 362 for all 3 sets. But it's just not there today. Like, I can just feel it. It just feels like fucking dog shit. So again, we're going to do 352, which is what's on here now, for 5. And potentially a second time for you know, the 3rd set. Ideally, this doesn't feel that bad, and we can go to 362 to finish off, but we'll see. Oh. Yeah, it didn't feel too bad. Especially once I got going. I'm trying not to slam it. I am trying to keep it touch and go though. Which just tap and go again. I'm not trying to dead stop it. So, but that's not too bad. I think I'm gonna chalk up and go for 362. I think we got it. I think we got 362 for 5. So, quick rest. And we'll get after it, dude. I'm gonna take about 90 seconds here. I hit record and I wasn't ready. But I've been sitting around too long. We're just gonna get it done, man. Oh, God. Oh. See, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. It feels like shit, but like the strength to get it up is there. It just feels like shit. So the ego part of me does want to do that again, but these deadlifts just feel so bad today. I don't even want to. It's fucking horrible. So we're gonna go ahead and just move on, and hopefully next week we'll be able to pick it up a little bit because I'm going down to 4s. Well, 4 to 5. It depends. But I'm gonna try and go for more next week. So we still set a weight PR because we did 342 twice and then 352 once. Next up is our least favorite exercise from last week, which was the high box step down. I kind of underestimated how weak I was on that exercise. So instead of doing like a pistol version where the downside leg is like out in front, I'm just going to treat it like a Polican step up, and just the down leg is just going to be straight down. And as soon as it makes contact with the floor, just stand back up. So that's just how I'm going to do it. And then, when that becomes easy, we'll just add load to that. I'm not going to worry about turning it into a pistol. At least not for as many reps as I wrote down, which I could turn it into a pistol and then just do lower reps, but I wanted something that was high rep. So we're just going to roll with that modification. Anyway, enough yapping. I'm going to clean this shit up, get in position for these step downs, and then we're almost done, actually. Ugh. Previously, I was like going like pistol. I'm going out in front. I'm just going to go bottom foot straight down. Here. Whoop. That feels just way better. I'm not using a counterweight because I don't really need one, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for 12. Kind of like a step up, but the opposite. That's why it's called a step down. I'm trying to keep all my tension in the top leg, and I'm also trying to avoid pushing off of the bottom. So all my effort is staying up here. So we're gonna start from the top. I just go down. As soon as I make full foot contact, I'm up again. Ooh. More. Ugh. Woo. Now, if you're doing something like this too, also don't be afraid to use a hand support. I know some people like, oh, I don't grab onto anything because it's cheating. Your brain just needs to feel safe. And so by holding on to something, even if it's like a finger or two up against a fixed structure, your brain will immediately feel much safer and your shaking will be dramatically reduced. So don't be afraid to use hand supports, especially because you obviously don't want to be limited by your balance. I mean, to a certain point, you know, having the balance is okay. But if you're trying to get stronger, you need some level of stability. So holding on to something would help. But also bear in mind, the stronger you get, usually the more stable you are. Depends on how you train, but because stability can be trained, if you didn't know that already. Whoop, lost my balance on that one, sorry. $11, number 12 right here. Oh, nice. Whew. That ankle is burning. Ooh. One more. Nice. All right, we juiced it up just a little bit. Nothing crazy, like literally just 10 more pounds. Oh God. And we're doing 6, 1.5 reps, starting from the top. Oh. Nice and easy. Oh God, that low back, that erector on that right side is still locked up on me. God. Oh. Starting from the top. 6 more. Oh. Nice and easy. I don't know where you guys can see me, but I'm just gonna go right here. If you can't see me, you can't see me. Sorry. I'm just rolling over. Or it's just prone hamstring curls with the band. I think you can see my little legs. I'm going to 20. Easy. Hanging leg raise ISO. Oh. And calf raises. Which is just ankle care, as you guys know. Look at that. Joint popped on the second rep. Big stretch at the bottom. Pause at the top. Six. One more. Ah, nice. All right, that is the end. Oh God, of week 6. Yeah, so not bad. Week 5 was cake. Week 6, some stuff was starting to amp up. I don't know what happened because, like I said, I don't do anything different. But my low back today, pissed. My lower legs, pissed. So I don't know. I gotta solve that shit this weekend. Well, today mostly. So we'll see how I feel after a hot shower. And I'm gonna throw those leg sleeves on to at least take care of the lower limb soreness. The low back, I don't know, it's probably just a mobility thing. One of the things that I did during the trap bar that you didn't see was side bends, and some toe touches. Toe touches, Jesus. Um, and that does help loosen it up in the moment, but then as soon as you did another set, it just locked back up again. So it's just one of those things that you have to continually address. And I'm not going to act like I'm ignorant to the problem either, because aside from training, I'm locked behind my desk most of the day, mostly because I work remote. I know, as a personal trainer, I do have some clients in person, but majority of my work is training people remotely or online entirely. Um, and so I spend a lot of time behind my desk. And then aside from training, which is my number one hobby, I love watching movies and playing video games. So I'm sitting down most of the year. I would actually like to see a comparison of time spent training versus time spent sitting down. I'm sure the difference is astronomical, I'm sure. But anyway, the point of bringing that up was, like, I know what the problem is. I just have to be more active throughout the day because sitting just destroys my back. Um, I'm sorry. There's a cut right there because my battery died. My camera just lets me know it's like low battery, and then it turns off. Like, okay, dude, thanks. So anyway, um, I don't remember what I was talking about. Memory of a goldfish. I think the main point that I was trying to make was just I know what the problem is. I just have to be more active in my day to day. But it's just I'm just so worn out that it's easier to just stay kaput in my chair and recover than it is to go for walks. But the walks don't have to be crazy. So it's just something that I have to commit to. And I was doing it really well in the past, and then I kind of fell off the wagon. But that's normally just how it goes. Like, sometimes you're just locked the fuck in 24/7, and then other times, it's just training total body twice a week because that's all you can get done. So, um, anyway, that's all I have. Week 6 was a success. I'm just a little beat up, so we're gonna take the weekend to recover as hard as possible, and then tackle week 7 with some force. Week 7 is arguably probably going to be the hardest instead of week 8, only because week 8 on some of the KPIs I'm deloading. Because weeks 9 through 12 I'm going to get the fuck after it. So I wanted a little mini break, and it's not like a full. It's not like week 8 is a complete deload. It's just like I'm deloading like the KPIs, so like the big things, so that I can go into week 9 feeling fresh as fuck. So anyway, I'm gonna quit yapping because I know this is a long post session talk, and the session is already like fucking 2 hours long. So anyway, adios. See you guys next week.